The crowd pressed close. The pastor stretched his arms wide. A cry rose and a body fell like a broken drum. The air held its breath. Voices clashed like storm winds. Some shouted in fear. Others called on heaven. The ground itself seemed to shake under the weight of their cries. Whispers slid through the crowd. Is this power, or is this death? Doubt crept into the hearts of many, rising like smoke from hidden fire. Arms rose high. The crowd stiffened. Silence pressed on their throats. His voice cut sharp. Do not tremble before what you cannot understand. The words struck like spears. Who dares question the chosen? Who speaks against the hand of heaven? Beware, for curses walk with the bold. Mothers clutched their sons. Fathers looked away, eyes locked in silence, yet no mouth opened. Fear sealed them like stone jars. A low voice broke the hush. Something is wrong in this house. The words fluttered like a bird in the dark, heard by few, feared by all. The fallen one lay still, chest quiet as clay. Tension wrapped the crowd in iron chains. Little hands dug into cloth. Wide eyes searched for safety. Fear spread like dry grass catching flame. Stand, one urged in a hushed tone. No, stay, another warned. The crowd swayed but did not move. The shadow of power held them fast. The pastor smiled. The teeth shone, but the truth hid. His robe swayed as if victory belonged to him. No hand dared rise, no voice dared cut his mask. He moved with pride, his steps heavy with power. Voices rose to greet him. Man of God, Father of blessings. The crowd bent low, their eyes full of worship, his arms lifted high, his words crashing like thunder. Jobs shall open, sick shall rise, marriages shall come. The people shouted back with joy, Amen. The air shook with claps and cries. His voice echoed like drums, beating hope into their hearts. Some wiped tears, others laughed, all believing his promises. Yet among the bending heads, one face stayed firm. Her eyes did not fall. She watched him without fear, her doubt hidden like a knife in cloth. Her lips moved close to her brother's ear. Why do the girls vanish after his prayers? The words cut sharp, daring to rise where silence had ruled. Gray heads leaned forward, their eyes fierce. One hand snapped in warning. Whispers died. The crowd shrank back as if a snake had hissed among them. The voice of authority struck hard. Who dares doubt the chosen of God? The curse will fall on the mouth that speaks against him. The silence grew heavy, crushing the boldness in many hearts. But at night, in hidden corners, quiet voices broke. Victims trembled as they spoke. He touched me, he promised healing but brought shame. Their pain filled the darkness, their fear sealing their lips from the world. One voice cracked with tears. If our story is told, no man will marry us. No family will keep us. We are ruined already. Heads dropped low. The silence deeper than their cries. From the shadows, the elder woman's staff struck the ground. Truth hides under silence, but silence cannot last forever. Her voice rang with age. Heavy like the earth itself, the young woman's fist tightened. The brother's jaw clenched. No words passed, yet fire burned inside them. Their silence had ended. The drums beat louder each week, calling the young to gather. Strange sessions were announced, promised as miracles. Yet only the young women were summoned. Why do they not return? Whispers spread like dry leaves in the wind. One after another, the girls stopped coming back. Their voices faded from the singing crowd. Their chairs stayed empty. The bold eyes stayed sharp, watching every move, noting every word. Suspicion grew stronger. Sister, tell me the truth. But the girl turned her face away. Shame covered her mouth. Silence weighed heavier than iron. Behind closed doors, tears fell. Hidden cries filled the night. Fear chained their voices. He promised me a blessing. One voice trembled, speaking at last. He said gifts, marriage, and riches would come if I obeyed. If I refused, he cursed me. Another voice broke with fear. He said sickness would eat me if I spoke against him. A fist tightened. Anger burned. Silence was no longer enough. The pulpit roared. Touch, not the anointed, or the curse will fall on you. The elders shouted his words again and again. Their voices struck the crowd like whips. Doubt was buried under fear. But in the dark, courage gathered. Victims sat together, their hands shaking, their voices low. The bold one spoke. We cannot stay silent forever. The wise woman joined them, her staff tapping the earth. Her voice rose like thunder. Truth hides under silence, but silence cannot last forever. Eyes turned sharp. The pastor noticed the growing courage. His gaze followed the bold one with fire. Be careful, villagers whispered. If you fight him, you will face exile or death. The fire of resolve was lit. The bold one stood firm. No matter the cost, truth will speak. Drums pounded. Hands clapped in rhythm. Voices rose like thunder. The man at the front lifted himself higher, his words dripping with pride. In the sea of voices stood one, silent but fierce. The eyes did not waver. The heart beat steady. The moment waited like a spear ready to strike. The man's voice soared. He stretched out his arms. A young girl was called forward, trembling as the crowd leaned closer. Before his hand could fall, another hand cut the air. No more lies. The words sliced a gathering like lightning across a dark sky. Mouths opened wide. Fear and confusion spread like fire through dry grass. Whispers hissed from corner to corner. From the silence, words rose. Testimonies hidden in the dark were spoken aloud. Proof long buried was laid bare for all to hear. A trembling voice cried out. He said wealth. He said marriage. He said gifts. If I obeyed? The sound shook hearts and tears rolled. UNHIDDEN. Old voices thundered. Protect the man of God? No. Bring the truth into the light. Their shouts clashed like drums of war. His face blazed. Liars, witches, enemies of the spirit. His cry fought against the storm of voices. He pounded the air. They seek to destroy the holy. Do not listen. His words rained heavy, but doubt had already crept in. One half roared, defending him with blind fire. The other half cried for justice, their voices rising like a flood. The gathering shook on its foundation through the noise. One figure walked with calm steps. A respected voice rose, steady as the earth. The words fell like stones in still water. No trick. No lie. I saw the shame with my own eyes. His strength faltered. Sweat trickled. His eyes darted. The wall of pride began to break. Murmurs grew into shouts, sharp and unstoppable. Voices clashed. Hands pushed. Some rushed to shield him, others to drive him out. The house shook like a storm-tossed tree, and the drums of truth could not be silenced. The pastor falls from his throne. Shouts filled the air. Hands pulled him down. His feet stumbled. His voice was lost in the storm. No more power in your hands. The words struck like a whip. An elder stepped forward. The staff of authority was torn away, lifted high, then broken against the ground. The mask of pride shatters. The robe of honor was ripped from his shoulders. His head bent low. Pride, once tall as a mountain, crumbled into dust. Banished beyond the village gates, drums thundered. The people drove him out with cries of justice. The gates closed behind him. His shadow was swallowed by the night. He would not return. Victims stepped into the circle. The air grew heavy. One by one, young women stepped forward. They lifted their heads. Their voices rose. We were silent in fear. A trembling voice shook the crowd. Faces turned, hearts listened. But silence ends tonight. Another spoke, stronger. Tears streamed down, falling like rain on dry earth. The crowd leaned closer. Truth found its wings. The people clapped for truth, hands struck together. Not for miracles. Not for false power. They clapped for courage. They clapped for the voice that dared to speak. The church walls breathed again. The weight of fear broke apart. The air turned light. The house of worship sighed. Free at last. This house belongs to the people. The words rang clear, strong, final. The people lifted their heads in agreement. The wise woman smiles. Her eyes glowed. Her staff tapped the earth. The seed of truth has grown. Her voice was calm, yet it carried far. A new song rises. Children lifted songs. Mothers clapped. Fathers stamped their feet. Healing poured out like water from a broken jar. The protagonist reflects aloud. Silence feeds the liar. Truth breaks his throne. The words struck deep. The people repeated them as if carving them into stone. The village learns its lesson. The elders nodded. Proverbs spread from lip to lip. The people whispered, a tree that hides snakes cannot stand forever. Justice had spoken. The lesson was sealed. The people sat in silence, their eyes waiting, their ears open for the final words. The voice rose, steady and strong. A shepherd who eats the flock will face the teeth of the lions. The words dropped heavy, sharper than spears, carrying truth that none could deny. Voices joined together, echoing the proverb. A shepherd who eats the flock will face the teeth of the lions. The sound rolled like thunder, stamping the lesson deep into memory. The downfall of the false leader was named without fear. He faced the teeth of the lions, they said, and the crowd nodded. Knowing justice had spoken louder than pride, hands rose high. Blind faith is a trap for the weak, the elders declared. Let no one bow to lies, for lies will crush the soul. Her staff struck the earth, firm and steady. Let no leader grow bigger than truth, she said. Truth is the seed. Truth is the harvest. Guard it, or hunger will return. Small voices carried the words into the night. Truth is stronger than fear. Truth is stronger than pride. The lesson leaped from child to child. Running into the future, he bowed low, but his voice was strong. Justice walks where courage leads, he said. No throne can stand on silence. No crown can rest on lies. Drums rolled, deep and final. The people clapped their hands. The mothers sang. The children danced. The tale closed in rhythm, echoing justice, betrayal, and truth.